On the opposite end of the age spectrum is Julio Jones. And earlier this offseason, the Titans snared him for just a second rounder and some change. And obviously, anytime you land a player who has the most receiving yards per game in NFL history, that's going to change the complexion of your offense and cause some seismic shifts into how they're going to use players and what the like kind of overall outlook's going to be. So with Jones himself, when you were watching him last year, do you think, I know he missed some time, but on the games you saw, do you think he still kind of has it at age 32? And what do you think he's going to be bringing to this Titans team?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he lost any speed, maybe half a step or so, but when I watch Julio Jones, he's explosive. He's such a violent runner, such a violent route runner. And he just creates so much separation because of how he explodes out the blocks and how he's able to cut on a dime and not lose any speed. So if maybe he lost half a step, but I don't see it even at his age. He still looks like an elite athlete to me, and he just bring that number one receiving ability to pair with a guy like I'm blanking on his name right now.
AJ Brown.
Yeah, pair with a guy like AJ Brown, who's a bona fide number one himself. Is just going to be a really interesting pairing for the Titans.
I know it's got to be the best duo in the NFL right now, and I'm just so intrigued to see how they deploy him. What's kind of your predictions? They've been obviously one of the more run-heavy teams the last couple of seasons with Derrick Henry. Do you think they evolve that with Julio on the roster? How do you think him and A.J. Brown fits? Is Julio the number one? Is A.J. Brown? Like, how does that marriage kind of work with those two?
Yeah, I'm not sure if, you can call a guy the number one with that much talent on the team, especially with the resume that Julio Jones has.
Right.
I think the offense will have to be a little more pass happy. I don't think there's going to be a ton, but I think they will pass the ball more because why wouldn't you with that receiving talent? And additionally, they were a big 12, 13 personnel team when they had blanking on his name too. The Titans tight end the Patriots.
Oh, is it Jonnu Smith?
Yeah. When they had Jonnu Smith, they were one of the heavier 2-3 tight end types teams with Berkshire. But with losing him and then gaining Jones, I think they're going to be more of an 11 personnel team. They'll use less of those heavy tight end personnel packages. And, with using more 11, I think naturally you'll see a little bit more passing to just take advantage of the talent on the team. And, you're just not going to be able to have that kind of versatile personnel package that you did have with that with the tight ends that they used to have. So their most dynamic personnel package now is the 11 personnel instead of 12 or 13.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Now, do you think that will end up causing any changes to the run game? Because obviously with two tight ends, it seems a little bit more, blocking friendly and all that good stuff. How do you see this move kind of impacting Derrick Henry and the run game? Do you think he decreases his volume if they get a little bit more pass happy? Do you think it helps him in the sense that it could draw some attention away? How do you see that kind of shaking out?
Yeah, I think the volume will go down a little bit. And I think, as any back gets older, you want to be cognizant of the volume of carries you give that back. So I think it will affect Derrick Henry. I don't think it's going to be, affect him dramatically, but I definitely think his usage will probably go down a little bit. And as far as, the running game is affected, I think there are different ways that you can create advantage running the ball with 11 personnel, like using more fly jet motion, which I think they will do with the type of personnel they have now.
Awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, my only real question with this offense isn't really in the players. It's at the coordinator level because Arthur Smith's been so great these last couple seasons, especially in the red zone. Now comes in Todd Downing. And I know if you're a Raiders fan, you have some experience with watching him and his offenses before, and it wasn't very pretty in his first go-around, to put it kindly. Should we be worried as fantasy owners that he's going to mess this up even with so much talent, or is it kind of foolproof?
No, I think it's definitely a concern because of how bad Todd Downing was in his first stint as an offensive coordinator. He undoubtedly has learned a lot. He coached under Stefanski and Kubiak with the Vikings, and under Arthur Smith, who was one of the most creative and best play callers in NFL. So that's a big loss, and he has some big shoes to fill. But like you said, there's a lot of talent on the field, but I would be a little weary of how Todd Downing is going to replace that level of coaching that Arthur Smith provided.
Absolutely. And what is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.